to kind of figure this one out. Okay. Is controlled, is bot controlled, is pawn controlled, is player controlled. Get controller, which was this. Because that just returns a controller object. I mean, that won't work in here. So, do I get player controller? No, that doesn't work. Do I just need a cast 2? Like, and just go from here? You know what? I'm just morbidly curious if this will work. This may not be the right way to do it at all. Characters have a default getter for its controller, right? But because characters can be controlled by AI as well as players, controller more ambiguous, you can cast 2 player controller. Interesting. Let's just see. Over here. That's a big FU and no. And an error. All right. Yep, can't read the property. Interesting. Had no problem reading that property earlier. You psycho. If I just do cast a player controller, just a normal here you go kind of a thing. I mean, let me reread what you just said. Characters have a default getter for the controller, that's right. But because characters can be controlled by AI as well as players, controllers are more ambiguous. Right, controller is more ambiguous. You can cast 2 player controller. So if I do it this way. Looks like it was null. That's what it said, and I don't understand why it said that. Let's try it one more time. So come over here, press a button, and I'm going to get an error. There's the error. So let's go ahead and I know it's working because everything else would work. Where is character ref being set? Character ref is actually being set on the ability spawn. It's being used as a pass-through. So the moment it's being spawned, it's actually casting or passing that through to the ability that is being spawned. So I wonder if this is activating too quickly. Out of pure morbid curiosity. It was being activated too quickly. There you go. So now that works. Sometimes it's just one of those little bit of delays, you know? It's just one of those things where you know the framework is there. You know it's good. You know everything is working. You just gotta, take a step back. Take a sip of coffee, do whatever. And sometimes you just gotta, open up and just say, hey, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. But, Devo to the rescue. Or technically devotee to the rescue. Thank you. I actually had no idea that you could enable inputs on an actor. So, that's pretty awesome. Thank you for that. So, with that being said, again, for reals this time, I'm actually going to go take a quick, 5-6 minute break, that kind of thing. Get up, get me some more coffee because I'm starting to need. Go to the bathroom, that kind of thing. And then I'll come on back and we're going to keep going because we are actually really close to finishing out this character tonight. We'll see what we can do. So, Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Okay. I am back. Sort of. I'm making myself a cup of coffee. I do apologize for the delay. Yeah, how is everyone doing tonight? Is there any particular part of the game that you are looking forward to watching be developed? I mean, there are so many parts that need to be made, so many parts that need to be worked on. Here it's almost 7 a.m., so I'm starting dressing up for work. Hey. Wow. Yeah, it is coming up on 10 p.m. here. But Alex, aren't you, if I remember correctly, you're in Greece, if I recall correctly. But either way, I do hope that you have a fantastic day at work. Hopefully everything goes smooth, no issues, no problems. And of course, whatever you do miss, you can always check out the VODs in my channel. Oh, gonna need to buy more creamer. 6 a.m. here. Wow. And Front, by the way, hi Front, how's it going? Hope everything is going well with you. And Front, where are you located at? I'm guessing... Oh, let's see. If Alex is in Germany and it's 7, almost 7, and it's about 6 there, I'm going to guess Germany? Right around that time zone? I don't know. Croatia. Whoa. Well, hello, Croatia. How is everything on your end? Hopefully everything is good, as you said. Yeah, everything is going great on my end. Of course, I am in America. So, obvious time zone difference on that end. We're basically just ahead of, or behind everybody. You know, what can we say? We're always late to the party, but we always make a splash. Just cold, boring weather. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and get live. Go back. Okay, so we went ahead and made all this work. We can now spawn the illusion. The illusion will now go forward, and we can teleport to the illusion's location. Perfect. And we now also know that the cooldown for the delayed framework is working correctly. So good job. And of course, a big, massive shout out again to Devotee to letting me know that actors can have inputs enabled on them. So that's freaking awesome. So now we're coming down to the last thing. Okay. And that is a very simple. What do we do after it's there? So from there, we're actually going to go ahead and set its lifespan. Now, generally speaking, we have a variable here for lifespan. And this is something that we set in our parent blueprint, but we're going to go ahead and just apply this to right here. So basically it just says, hey, once we're done moving, go ahead and set the lifespan. At the end of the lifespan, before we delete it, before all that happens, we're going to go ahead and delete ourselves. Okay? We're going to need to go ahead and take this, put it over here, and we're going to do a very quick branch. Okay? And all this is going to do is just say, hey, are we below or equal to 0.2? That gives us a little bit of breathing room. Okay, just a little bit of breathing room. In fact, let's try 0.1. And then go ahead. Ooh, you know what? No. Let's come in here. That is not the way we want to do that, because that value is never going to change. Instead, what we need to do is get lifespan and put it here. Okay? So that way we can get our lifespan, put it over, and what we may need to do is actually grab this, pop this down, and we're probably going to need another sequence here. The more I think about this, we're going to need a very quick do once. Okay, just a very quick do once. And then from there, we're going to have it be monitoring. And so we're going to pull this up here. We're going to go ahead and rearrange some of these things just so that way they are a little bit more compact. There we go. And we'll go ahead and pull this up. Pull this up to here. And again, we can always rearrange this stuff and make sure that everything is nice and clean after the fact. But we definitely want to come in and do a very simple, hey, have we reached our distance yet? If we have, or if we haven't, we're going to go ahead and keep moving until we reach our distance. Okay, then once we have reached our distance, we're going to go over and do a very quick one-time set our lifespan. We don't want to keep setting it over and over again. Just need to do it once. So then, after we do that, it'll come down here and do a very quick check. What is our lifespan? What's happening? Is it below 0.1 seconds? If it is below 0.1 seconds, then we're going to go ahead and trigger Big Game Cooldown. So that way it will kick off, send that, and then the lifespan will have it destroy. So let's go ahead and see if this actually works in practice. Okay. So we're going to come over here, set it. It's moved. Okay. Let's see if it dies. It does die. And we can do it again. So obviously it did go through and, make sure that everything is good on that end. So 1, 2, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, dead. And half a second later, we can pop it again. So that appears to be working exactly as we need it. So we can come over here and delete that. So we can now confirm officially that our delayed cooldown functionality, part of that framework, that has worked, which is fantastic. Okay, so this is working incredibly well. I do kind of want to move this over though. It doesn't have to be super far, but just enough to bring this up and be a little bit more in line. So that way we can kind of condense certain things. If you're new to the channel, you may not know, but I am a very big stickler for just making sure that everything is organized, making sure that everything is on the up and up and everything looks good. So that way it's easy to follow. Let's go ahead and just, again, move this up. Let's bring this right up under it. Let's go ahead and drag this one out a little bit too. There we go. Okay. So that part of the framework is done, and that ability is done. Now we do have a big problem. We do have one big bug, and that is the fact that this ability is not triggering everything that it needs to do. So, instead, what we need to do is we need to, think about how we want to approach this. As of right now, the ability is not sending anything to the state manager at all. Okay? Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because the ability manager, that's just there for spawning the ability. So we could come in here and on begin play, once we have character reference and everything there, what we can do is probably just come in here and duplicate that off and then do apply a buff. No problem, right? And come in here, apply buff. Come in here, do 4. Come in here, do 25. And we're going to have this last for 5 seconds. We could do it this way. Our current system should allow for this to happen. So if we go, okay, normal, and no speed increase. At least that I can see. Let's go ahead and try it the other way. And by doing a message. I realize that that may probably be the big problem. So we're going to go ahead and just, I don't know, let's do 80% up for 5 seconds. So it should be very obvious if this one works. So we're walking, boom, nothing. And again, it's not working. Our beautiful little, movement speed buff is just not triggering. So yeah, that's a problem. We can come over into our state machine and just look at buffs and say, yep, okay, 4, speed up. Yep, we're looking at 4. We're going to apply speed up. We know that speed up works. Apply buff effect. Apply buff effect. So we know that it works because we tested it during debug. And so if we just disconnect that and go straight over to this one, let's just see what this one does. Yeah, not making any difference. So obviously we have a problem here. And I could keep going with this and I could keep digging into it, but you know what? It's not that big of a deal for the time being. We have a bug with it. We can always fix it later. This is just pre-alpha. This is just getting the base stuff there. We can sort that part out later. So there is ability 1, ability 2, and of course our Fey Illusion being ability 3. Let's see. Oh, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for, for joining the Discord. Thank you so much for just joining, being a part of it. I know I've said it before. I'm going to continue to say it. Thank you again for everything. You guys truly are a massive inspiration. And this Unity v Unreal GIF that Alex posted was absolutely hysterical. Can you link Discord? Absolutely. I would love to. I have not set up the what was it? Nightbot, Moonbot. That command of exclamation point Discord. I haven't set that stuff up yet, but I am going to set that up tonight. So, yeah. And Alex, I do see the link that you just sent me. So wait for confirmation. When you got to see this on how to proceed. Yeah, I don't know how to even begin that part. Yeah, it's I'll be honest. I never thought, and I know this is a side tangent, and for those of you that are like, come on, keep working on stuff, I need to get this off my chest. When I started streaming again, I didn't believe anyone would watch. I thought it was pointless. I thought it was absolutely a waste of my time. And while I was streaming a game, there were so many better streamers that you could go and watch. And so I got really down on myself. So I never even looked into affiliate. I never looked into partner. I never looked into that kind of stuff. It wasn't until today that I actually looked at the stuff. And I had no idea I was that close. So I know I say thank you a lot, and I will continue to do so because I'm a very humble person. But thank you, all of you, whether you are here live in the chat with me, whether you are watching this VOD later, because I know a lot of people watch the VODs way after the fact. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching, for being a part of this, community, for inspiring me. Thank you. You are a dude. You have much higher average viewership than I do. You'll get those followers in no time. I didn't think I would. But I truly do appreciate that. So wait, you're actually at 51? Wow. I'm blocking out level for my game, but I'm listening to you in the background. Hey, go for it. Look at you, go. Again, this has been a trip. I've only been streaming for probably 2.5 weeks. 3 weeks, something like that. But the amount of love and support that I have received from so many people is just incredible. So I wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, I did say that after I got that ability done, I would go ahead and do a very quick recap of the next 2 characters, seeing how this character is almost done in terms of just functionality. So let's rewind. Let's go ahead and do that real fast, okay? Because I want to hear what y'all's opinion is. Okay, remember, these are the next 2 characters that will be developed on stream. These aren't the next 2 characters. These are just the next 2 characters that will be developed on stream. Okay, so we're gonna go through each one of them really quick. And please, by all means, tell me what you think. Just let me know, for better or for worse. Tell me what you think. I will not be telling you anything about them other than their archetype and what faction they are going to be a part of, because the game will have 2 factions, magical and technological. So you're going to essentially get Raiden, whatever, however you want to call him, from Metal Gear versus fairies. You know, it's gonna be weird. Trust me. I understand that part. But so this next one, okay? This next one is for our next character that will be developed. So his basic attack. Actually, first, let's back up. This is going to be a assassin type character who is going to be on the tech faction. So, yes, you're going to see, some, technological kind of stuff, lasery kind of things, metals. Think borderline chaotic evil kind of a vibe. Anyways, his basic attack swings a scythe, dealing damage in a frontal cone. Pretty simple, but he will be one of very few characters planned for the early on that will actually do a frontal cone basic attack. Most basic attacks are just a single target. This guy does a frontal cone. Ability number 1, jump to target location and leave an AoE aura on the ground, dealing damage and healing you for 10% of all damage done. Got a little bit of that lifesteal kind of, built into it. Ability number 2, a hand reaches out and grabs any enemy in its path. Just whoop. Characters who are grabbed cannot move. Activating this ability again will bring that character to you. So you can kind of see this as almost a World of Warcraft Death Grip kind of ability. But of course, depending on where the location is, you may not want to bring them to you. You may want to just reach out, grab them, and now they're stuck, and then you just jump on top of them. However you want to work it. Ability number 3. Yes, I know that there's a typo in here. But claws raise from the ground, dealing damage to all enemies that it hits. Then again, using the ability again, the claws will actually drag those players back to where the player was when they used the ability. So, depending on how you want to do this, you could use that ability, hit them, and then while they're being hit, you can move out of the way and then pull them back while you are now in front of them. That kind of a thing. So lots of interesting gameplay mechanics with that. And of course, ability number 4, his ultimate. This one, yes, I understand it sounds OP. Yes, this one is probably going to be annoying as hell. But that's the point. All abilities have their MP costs reduced to 0. All cooldowns are reduced to 1 second. And attack speed is increased. All of this for 5 seconds. So when this character unloads, pops his ultimate, and is just there, you might just want to kiss your ass goodbye. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this character's abilities, their toolkit, that kind of a thing? I mean, personally, my entire thought for this character was, I want an assassin that's annoying. I don't want an assassin that is going to be off the beaten path, kind of looking around corners, waiting to jump into battle. No, they can jump in at any point. They can jump in. They can mess with people. They can control things. They can set up their own kills. So, yeah, what do you think? So, while you're thinking about that, let's go on to character number 5. Again, this will be the next character after that one. Okay. So, basic attack. A small gust of wind flies forward and damages a single enemy. Oh, before I forget, this is a magic faction mage. Small gust of wind flies forward and damages a single enemy. Fairly straightforward. Ability number 1, increases movement speed. Now, most people look at that and go, meh, whatever. You have to understand, this increased movement speed is going to be insanely quick. Like, they can go from one end of the arena to the other like that. Like, really goddamn quick. Holy crap. Ability number 2. A large burst of air flies forward and deals splash damage to all nearby enemies. Okay, so now we got a little bit of AoE. I got a little bit of splash damage. Okay, now we can handle multiple enemies all at once. But if that wasn't enough, ability number 3. Call down a tornado that deals damage on spawn and damage over time while it is still active. So now you gotta dodge tornadoes. Okay. Dodge tornadoes. We could do this. Until they hit their ultimate. Ability number 4. Tornadoes, multiple, begin to touch down in random locations around the arena and then move in random directions. Now, when I say tornadoes, I don't mean 2. I don't even mean 3. I'm thinking I might want like 5. I want to flood the arena with tornadoes. And the fact that they truly will be moving in random directions, random locations. I'm not going to, kind of heat seeker them or home them in on enemies. They will be moving in random directions. So this could be very beneficial if they all decide to just move to the enemies. Or they could completely avoid them. Who knows? But if you think about the last character, the ability to reach out, grab them, and pull them in. Or the claws rising up from the ground and then dragging them back. Imagine having this character in your group. Where they throw down a tornado, you can just reach out, grab them, and pull them into the tornado. Those kinds of synergies are things that I'm constantly thinking about. And so that's what we're going to go with. But those are the next 2 characters coming up. Character number 3 and character number 5. So, alright, we're going to go on that. So, state manager, ability manager. So it looks like we're going really good on this. So we have our Fey Blessing, Fey Illusion, and New Beginning. Now, I do need to look at what our third ability was supposed to be. So let's go ahead and do a very quick, pull up the design document. And this is one of those times where, Jesus, I get blind. Okay. Okay, so this one does no damage. It is vines wrap around the feet of the enemy and roots them. Okay, so it's just a simple little root. Sounds good. And yeah, when you go from normal lighting to like spreadsheet white all up in your face. Okay, wild roots. So let's go ahead and create that ability. We're going to go ahead and create a blueprint class. We're going to extend it off of the BP ability class. CH001 wild roots. Okay, we're going to go ahead and save that. And then we need to come back into our ability spreadsheet. And we need to make sure that we actually attach wild roots. Oh, there we go. We're going to do ability cooldown to be 0.5 because we'll need that to be. Okay. So what I like to do in here, when I'm making my abilities, is I'm going to open them up. And with this, we don't need to go crazy with the art. But we definitely need something to visualize it. So like, new beginnings for this character. She spawns up a flower. It grows up and then it blossoms. There you go. Obviously, I don't need to do some crazy vine animation. I don't need to do the blossom actually coming out and the petals folding out right now. But instead, what I can do is just do a simple cylinder and then throw in some cubes that I've just scaled down and then just put them in place. And then instead of the bulb opening up, really simple, just hide the bulb. And then when it's blossomed, we just unhide the bulb. So we're going to do the exact same thing with wild roots. So for this, we want to make sure that we get this cylinder right here. Okay, we want to make sure that we check the scale. The scale is being a 0.5 for the head and 0.6 for the body. So we're going to come in here and we're going to copy this and paste it into here. Now that didn't really work very well because I copied the actual mesh itself. We need to do these placeholder meshes. Bring it on in here. And this is just going to be a very quick placeholder for our... There we go. Placeholder for what our character is going to look like. So that way we know kind of whereabouts what we need to do. Okay? So we're going to come in here. And we have 555, cool. And we're going to do 6661, cool. So we're good to go. So what we need to do is actually start creating the effect. So first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and just do a very simple... where is our cylinder? There's a cylinder. Actually, you know what we could do? We can make this even easier. A cone. I know it doesn't look all that great. I know. But you know what we can do? We can just say, who cares? Make it kind of like that. We'll make it actually 0.35. That's that. We will come in here and change. We need to make a brown color. So we're going to come in here and make a new material real fast. Come in here, make a new material. Brown. I'm going to go ahead and grab not a comment. Don't need a comment. We're going to do a constant 3 vector. That way we can just come on in here and just make a brown color. Let's just find one that we like. And that's not terrible. Let's go ahead and just do that. Let's make it a little bit darker, shall we? Just a little bit darker. There we go. And what we can do... substrate is not enabled. You know what? Let's actually... It should be fine, but let's actually just delete that real fast. And we'll do it the other way around. We'll just delete that, or duplicate from the red and make brown. And then come in and do the thing all over again. Make it about like that. Let's save it. Okay, so now we can come back over into our wild root, into our cone, and put brown.